I get asked pretty much on a daily basis to review small, pocketable, LED rechargeable lights. And I usually say no, for two reasons. The first reason is that I think most of these lights are pretty much the same with a different brand on the back of it, and I've got no interest in reviewing the same light over and over again. And the second reason is usually the company that message me want a biased review. They want me to say how amazing their product is. And I'm not going to review a product that I don't believe in. So when Sandmarc reached out to me and offered me this, the Sandmarc Action Gear Pro Light Bicolor, I was thinking it's probably just going to be the same old story. But with them, it's slightly different. The first thing that's different with them is they said I can produce a completely unbiased review, which tells me one thing. They have got a lot of confidence in this product. They think I'm going to like it. That piqued my interest. The second thing is that this isn't aimed at videographers. Videographers are not this company's target market. These guys are aiming towards professionals who are working from home and they want to improve their lighting setups for Zoom or Skype or Google Meet. So this is designed to go on top of your phone, on top of your laptop, on top of your iPad, and I'm really interested to see how well it works. So I'm just going to read the tech specs on the back so you can get an idea of how this thing performs. Color temperature of 3000 to 6500 K, max brightness of 1500 lux. Color rendering index is CRI 95+, which means the color temperatures are really accurate. And there is a big difference between this and something like the Andy Cine R1. The Andy Cine R1 has got RGB, which means yes, it's more flexible, I can use it in more scenarios, but the color temperature isn't going to be as accurate as something that's dedicated to being a light to improve Zoom or Skype calls. Battery life at 100% brightness is 100 minutes. It's not too bad at all. Brightness range between 5 and 100%. Built-in battery 3000 milliamps, pretty typical of these kinds of lights. Dimensions is 4.4 inches by 2.2 inches by 0.4 inches. It weighs 5.2 ounces or 147 grams, and the power is 15 watts. So let's take a look what you get inside the box. I like that. So pretty typical branded black cardboard box. Inside you just get the light in this little plastic baggie. We'll come back to that in a second. You also get a hot shoe adapter. Nice that they include this, but most companies do. You get a little branded microfiber cloth. I will never be using that. And a USB-C cable. And the last thing in the box, which I think is pretty interesting, is this little mount adapter, which means you can clamp that light onto an iPhone, an iPad, a MacBook, pretty much anywhere that gap will allow you to clamp onto. So let's jump back and take a look at the light itself. Take the little baggie off. And something this comes with, which most of these lights don't, is a diffuser on the front, a rubber diffuser. And this is actually patent pending at the minute, so this might be the only light in the future where you get this type of diffuser. And I'm really interested to see how well this performs. Some other companies do send you diffusers, but they always suck. So interesting to see how that works. I'm just going to take this off for the minute. So on the top, you've got your USB charging port, you've got your power button. There we go. Pretty bright light. It actually says on the website that this is the brightest pocket LED light on the market. Pretty bold claim. I don't know how accurate that is. On the side, you've got your rocker switch, which adjusts your brightness and your color temperature. And on the bottom, you've got your tripod thread. So the first thing I want to test out is whether you could actually use this as your key light for your YouTube channel. So I'm just going to turn off my main key light. This is the newer SL60W with a big softbox on it. So we'll just turn that off. Hold this light up instead. I mean, if you mounted it in the right position, you might just get away with it. I apologize that I keep looking up there. That's where my monitor is, so I need to know where to hold the light. It's not a very big surface area, so you couldn't have it off to the side. You would have to have it directly in front of you somewhere, probably just above your head. Like I said at the beginning, that's not who this company are targeting though. They're not targeting content creators. They're targeting people who are working from home and they want to improve their lighting for their video conferencing apps. So let's mount this to my phone and take a look at how well it works. So this is just a normal tripod thread, so you don't have to put this light on this little clamp, you can put anything on. And it is, I think, fully adjustable. Yep, so you can move it in any way that you want. Where's my phone? Found it. Right, so how well does this work? So we're gonna mount this up in the top left-hand corner of the phone. Going to be using the selfie camera for this test, and I'm going to swap over now. Okay, so this is using my main key light for my YouTube setup. If I turn that off, you can see that the camera will adjust the exposure, but I look very grainy, bad quality. This is probably the experience that most people have when they're doing video conferencing. It looks like this. So with the addition of the Sandmarc light, wait for the exposure to correct on the phone, and you can see there is a vast improvement over having no light source at all. And I'm in a pretty dark situation, so I would need a light source. One thing that is worth mentioning is the fact that this diffuser makes it much more comfortable to just sit here and talk to the camera. If I was using something like the Andy Cine R1, turn it on, it's dazzling. Whereas the Sandmarc isn't dazzling whatsoever. I could sit here pretty comfortably all day. So you've got an idea of what it looks like on a phone. Now we're gonna swap to my MacBook Pro, which notoriously has a terrible, terrible webcam. Let's see what the improvement is like on that. Okay, so as before, we're starting off with the YouTube light. That's turned on at the minute. If I turn that off, you can see that the quality drops through the floor with this MacBook Pro webcam. It really does suck, and webcams in general do suck. So adding a little bit more light to the scene will drastically, or should drastically, improve your picture quality. Okay, not bad. That has done a much better job than I thought it would. The clamp does a really nice well at holding that light in place as well, and like I said, it is fully articulating, so you can move it to be whatever angle you would like. I've seen other companies in the past put out these bold claims about how a small light like this is going to completely transform the way your footage looks, and it's just not true. These guys aren't doing that. They're saying if you add this light, it's gonna make it look a lot better and a lot clearer. It's not gonna look like a studio setup, but people are gonna be able to see your face. And I like that. I like that they're not saying it's gonna be the best thing you've ever bought, but it is gonna help improve your setup. So what are my genuine thoughts on this light? Is it worth picking one up? Good question. I really, really like the diffuser. I think that does a really good job compared to something like the Andy Cine R1. If you were going to use that in the same situation, this would look bad. This actually doesn't look too bad at all. It removes all of the harsh shadows and the sweaty, glary kind of light that you get from something like this with no diffusion on it. You probably want to know how much it is. At the minute, it's retailing at $99 and it's only on the Sandmarc website, but I would imagine they're planning to bring it to the UK and to Amazon.co.uk. Otherwise, they wouldn't have asked me, someone from the UK, to review it. If you're working from home and you want to improve your lighting, you want to look a little bit more professional, then something like this would really, really help you. And I really like how sturdy and well made this little clamp is. That really sells it for me. Thank you for watching. If you've got any questions or comments or want to know anything that I didn't answer in this review, then please put it in the comment section below and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll see you again really soon.